welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Bree and I have a service dog named Dallas. But on my channel here, I like to talk a lot about service dog related things. I like to take y'all on vlogging adventures when I go places with my service dog, like Disney World, Universal Studios, flying on an airplane. I know it's not a very common thing to see service dogs, so a lot of people are really interested in what it's like taking a service dog places. But if you are interested in those things, don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any adventure. If you clicked on this video, you probably already know from the title and the thumbnail that we're going to be talking about what you can do as a store employee when a pet or a service dog walks into your establishment. I know nowadays it is very common, especially in the summertime, for people to be bringing their pets into non-pet friendly places. People oftentimes will bring their pets in service dog vests into non-pet friendly places, which we will get more into that a little bit later in this video. But the first thing you need to do as an employee of an establishment is you need to know your pet policy. Every place has a different pet policy. You are either pet friendly or you are non-pet friendly, meaning only service animals are allowed in the establishment. Now, in America, most places that sell food are going to be non-pet friendly, meaning only service dogs are allowed. And this is for health and safety reasons. Service dogs have been trained to be in that environment, so they are trained to not eat food, not sniff food, be sanitary about things, whereas a pet is not trained that way. But another way you can figure out your pet policy is a lot of times on the front door there is a sign that says service dogs only or pets are welcome. I know Lowe's, for example, has a sign on their front door saying that service dogs and pets are welcome, so they're pet friendly. Walmart and Target have signs on their doors saying that only service dogs are allowed. They're not pet friendly. So the second thing you need to do once you know your pet policy is you need to enforce it. And this means when somebody with a really super cute puppy walks into your establishment, you need to ask them to leave. I know it's hard. I know you want to see this cute puppy, you want to go pet it while you're working, but the rule is there for a reason. It's there to keep people safe, and you need to ask them to leave. Some examples and reasons why these policies are in place is because, one, it's unsanitary. If a place sells food and there's a pet there sniffing, jumping on things, licking things, it's just gross. Service dogs don't do that. Two, pets are not trained. Like, they could have potty accidents in the store, they can be obnoxious, barking, lunging, they can get aggressive if they get nervous about something. Service dogs go through 2 years of training is the average training span for a service dog, and they go through a lot of socializing so that they can be able to handle the public environment. A lot of service dogs don't even make the cut. They get booted from the program because it is a lot to handle. Some things that have happened, I have read articles about, is people bringing their pets into places and their pets, who are super friendly and always super nice at home, attack someone. Because let's say a little kid runs up behind your already overwhelmed and stressed out dog and pulls their tail. That dog is probably going to turn around and bite them or growl at them or wig out. That is why the policy is in place, and that is why you need to enforce it as an employee. So one thing that a lot of people do to try to get around the pet policy is they will put a service dog vest on their pet, and they will try to take them into places that are service dog only places, and they think that because they have a vest on their dog that says service dog, that their dog will be welcome. And that makes it really confusing for employees, because employees are under the impression that they can't kick out a service dog. They can't do anything. And so now there's this service dog in their store that's misbehaving and acting up, and they can't do anything about it. That is what I want to talk to you about, because that is not true. You are allowed to kick a service dog out under certain circumstances. And these circumstances are if the dog is out of control or poses a direct threat to somebody. So I'm going to actually import a couple clips here of what my service dog looks like when she's working, and you can see what a service dog looks like when they are under control. And then I'm going to put in some clips of what a out of control dog looks like, so you can kind of just see the difference.
Service dog. That is not a service dog.
Pretty stolen. Are you kidding me? I don't
Thank you.
Maybe take your dog. Period.
But if a service dog does walk into your non-pet friendly establishment and you are questioning it, the dog isn't acting right, the dog's out of control, you are allowed to ask them 2 questions to help determine whether or not it's a real service dog. And these 2 questions are, is that a service dog required because of a disability? The answer would be yes or no. If they answer yes, you can ask one more question. What task or work has the dog been trained to do to mitigate the disability? And if it's not a real service dog, oftentimes they will get kind of confused on this question. They won't know what to say. They'll say something like, oh, emotional support, or oh, they help me with my anxiety. Those aren't service dog tasks. Service dog tasks are things that the dog actually has been trained to do. It's not just the presence of the dog being there. So, for example, my dog is trained in medical response and mobility assistance. So she's trained in balance assistance. She's trained to retrieve objects off the ground for me if I've dropped an object. There's lots of different tasks. Oftentimes these tasks are a lot of times alert and response tasks, or other tasks like opening doors, pressing handicap buttons, pulling a wheelchair, stuff like that, guiding me through a safe environment. You'll be able to kind of tell whether or not it's a task or nothing. But let's say they do answer that question properly and they say a legitimate service dog task, and the dog still is out of control and you feel like it should not be in there because it's out of control and obviously not trained. What you can do then is you can kick them out because the dog is not under their control and they are not taking effective action to control it. They may give you an issue of this, and you know, that's the hard part. They may tell you that they're going to sue you, but legally under the ADA, you are allowed to kick out a service animal if it is out of control. Think back to those videos I showed you. Sorry, my dog just kicked my camera. But think back to those videos I showed you of the out of control service dogs. That's what you will be kicking out. Now, let's say a service dog barks once, or maybe they sniff something a couple times, or they don't sit right when their handler asks them to sit, or maybe they're pulling on the leash just a little bit. That's not out of control. That's just probably a service dog having a bad day. And it is what it is. It happens. Just like people have bad days. But another thing that I always do is I carry service dog ADA cards. I'll put a picture of them right here for you to see. But on there you can see it says what questions you can ask and under what circumstances you can ask the dog to leave. So don't feel discouraged if there is a dog who is in a service dog vest and they're completely out of control. Don't feel like you're not allowed to kick them out because it's a service dog, because that's not true. And that's probably what they're going to try to tell you. But the case is, that dog is probably a pet, and that person is probably just trying to impersonate a service dog, which is highly illegal and has major consequences. So yeah. But the fake service dog issue, as well as people bringing their pets into non-pet friendly places, is growing in America, and it's not good, it's not safe. There's been more attacks on people recently because of that. So that is just why it is important for you to enforce that rule, and now you know how to enforce that rule. And I understand that a lot of establishments have a policy for their employees to not enforce the rule and to not ask any questions. And that, in my opinion, is completely awful. Why would you have a no pet policy and tell your employees they can't enforce it? It doesn't make sense. The reason they do that is because if you accidentally kick out a real service dog who is actually under control, they can sue you for that. And that's the hard thing. But if you've been trained properly and you know what to look for and what questions to ask, then you're fine, you're golden. They can't do anything about it, and you're doing what you're legally allowed to do. But again, thank you so much for watching this video. Again, if you're new here and you have not subscribed to this channel and you enjoy my content, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on any adventures. I also have an Instagram page and a TikTok page, Dallas the Service Doodle, if you want to follow us on there too, to just keep up with Dallas and I. But thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.